it's great to do these events and get to kind of know people. You know, as people may know, we're a technology that's very, very focused on discovery of sensitive data. Our beginnings actually started with a joint project with Israel Border Control and American Homeland Security to beef up the border control systems and analyze data from many military intelligence agencies and sharing of intelligence data to catch terrorists at the borders. And one of the key challenges was how do you merge data from many different military intelligence to create a persona. So we kind of rose to the challenge of privacy with that understanding and said, okay, well, the problem of privacy is one of well, you don't really know where your bits of data about individuals are and how you bring that together. So so kind of very, very fundamental background in our technology that relates to very, very high sort of impact environments, highly secure environments. And then again, another 10 years experience in understanding flows of network data to see where information is going, etc. So, you know, as we kind of, everyone's heard about privacy and CCPA and CCRA and GDPR and LGPD and POPI and all these sort of things. And our approach is very, very simple. Is basically taking a data security centric approach to data privacy and saying, well, it's zero trust for data privacy. You don't trust anything the enterprise tells you about personal data. We're going to find out everything for you. So our perception is that in the same way you'd want an antivirus to detect any viruses within your network, you'd want a discovery tool that can detect any uses of personal data within your network. So that's kind of what we do. As I said, it's an Israeli cybersecurity company with a very deep focus on data governance and data privacy and the uses of data. So yeah, funded by largest cybersecurity investor. And as I said, always great to do business with the chaps at Atlantic Data. I hope this is Atlantic Data.
Thank you, Zach. So I think now we can go into our Sustainable Data Discovery Seminar, and Ophir from our team is going to do that. Ophir, would you like to start by introducing yourselves and then share your screen so we can all look at the presentation?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Ophir Nassim. I'm Director of Sales Engineering here at OneTouch. And feel free to ask any question during the session. I'm gonna, gonna give you a glimpse of what OneTouch.io is delivering with the platform to provide you sustainable data security. And let's start sharing my deck here. Just a sec. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen at the moment. Can you just give me a confirmation that it's okay?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, so we discover data that others can do, and I'm going to tell you why. We are starting from a standing point that we do not need to know anything about the network. We don't have to be pointed to any point of the network to read or understand what is on the network. And this is approach that has been taken from the world of security in terms of where people are commencing hacking or penetration testing audits, where we are allowing the penetration groups to be able to find out information that they don't know about into an environment which they don't know about. And this is the same approach that OneTouch.io has been going through. And the platform here has the approach of, first we do a passive monitoring in which we do not need to know anything about the network. We just get a copy of the network, whether it's infrastructure visibility such as Gigamon or XCI or even SpendPoint directly from your core network. And just by listening to those network packets, we are able to create an inventorizing data elements, network elements gathered from those network packets. And I'm just gonna jump to a couple of slides here just to show you what we do in terms of the process itself. So in terms of the passive monitoring, we're just listening to the network. We are using a proprietary CMDB engine, which means that some of you may know this CMDB as a part of network performance monitoring or application performance monitoring, which is a component which allows the solution to build an inventory of all the data network elements which are discovered automatically during this process. Now, this is a passive way to know what's on your network. We are not doing anything just by listening. And just by doing that, we are able to extract and decode the protocols that we are seeing on the copy of the traffic. And once we do that, we are able to create a repository. Those repositories could be any resource that may contain data. That could be database servers, that could be S3 buckets on AWS or even Google Drive, or even file shares, which may contain sensitive information stored on files. So we are basically can discover your data anywhere, any place, anytime. Now, once this process has been able to create those repositories of information that may contain, excuse me. Okay, I thought that someone was asking a question. So once we are able to create those repositories, the only thing that left to do is to proceed to the second phase of the discovery, which is now being from being passive, we are going into an active monitoring, which means now that providing those credentials in order to access those databases and the file shares and the cloud locations, we are able to read and actually crawl those repositories for additional information. So that way, we are able to find structure and unstructured information. So when we talk about structure, we talk about databases, and we could also address NoSQL and MongoDB, MariaDB, all sorts of databases such as even Oracle or Redshift on Amazon. So basically, we are able to find any piece of information regarding sensitive data. And when it comes to unstructured repositories, and this is where Inventa is showing the power here, is that it's able to find sensitive information on free text files such as PDF files or JSON files, which most of the organization are using for automation. And this is a very strong ability to be able to understand information inside those files. Now, the second part would be, once we have discovered that there is data on those repositories, is to be able to create a lineage or consolidate those data elements that we are able to find into a single entity or a single person, thus allowing us to provide you a full visibility into the pieces of the data elements that we have been able to discover, and create a single person which holds all the data elements under it. Now, if you try to imagine how hard it is to manually do this process, and crossing tables and crossing information across all the files that we have been able to discover, that's a huge amount of time that we are saving. That's a lot of money that we are saving, because you wouldn't need to create or develop or even buy any other tools. We are a single point of platform that is able to create this kind of accurate lineage. And the ultimate goal of this platform is to be able to serve as a customer master catalog for all of your business elements. So basically, you could be having a repository which may hold employee information, or repository for business partners, or repository for VIP customers, or whatever you need to support the business. So we are able to create this lineage and tell you if a single person has been identified for on a single business repository, and being able to tell you if that information is being aligned to some of the regulations. So let's say if you take, for instance, CCPA, and you would like to know if there is any information that is being sensitive information that has been found across data repositories which are not related to California. Okay, so basically we are able to show you on a geographical location whether if there is data which being found out of the state of California, or any other location for that instance. And if you come to think about it, you can also leverage that into public cloud as well, because most of the public clouds also has regions. And if you take an organization that has lots of sites across all over the world, we are able to show and confirm and adhere to those privacy regulation based on countries. We just to uh, you know to let you know, we have over 80 regulation across the world which concern privacy. And our platform, Inventa, allows you to create this master catalog to be used for privacy, for security, and using Open API, we are able to feed third-party security products such as DLP, such as firewalls, such as IPSs, to do the enforcement and tell those products, hey, you have missed here something. Please update your repository and do the enforcement for this specific person. So this is what we can do with a single platform. Now, you probably know that you have lots of sensitive information that may not be consolidated into a single entity or a single person. And this is what we call unknown information or sensitive data, because we may have portions of the data, and we might have um, address and birthday and a name, but we could not be able to create what we call a confirmed identity out of these details. And what we are leveraging using Inventa is a supervised AI. It's a mechanism that allows us to train the system. We don't need to be data scientists here, just to let you know. Everybody can do it. We can train the system to be able to understand those data elements and create the lineage between those other data elements that the system has found. Now, once we do that, we are able to train by training one table or one source of repository, we are able to feed all the network with these information, and that making your data more accurate. And the quality of the data that we are able to provide here is the name of the game here. So if you have any questions, I would like to proceed to the reference architecture and tell you how do we do it, and how do we deploy our platform. So basically, we have a couple of elements here. We are using an analytic appliance that do the hard work of discovering and scanning the network. That could be on-prem, on data centers, and that could be on public clouds as a virtual appliance. And with this appliance, we are leveraging the power of machine learning. So we are able to provide you a most accurate and fast discovery on the network, because we are utilizing hardware-based machine learning that has been architectured on thousands of CPUs just for that. And if we are talking on public cloud, we are leveraging the power of the virtual GPU in order just to achieve the same accuracy and same performance on virtual appliances. So the analytic appliance will do all the digesting of the data and will feed the console manager to do the lineage itself. And the console manager is also a very, very strong appliance, just to let you know that it has 10 gig, 40 gig, 25 gig interfaces, and the next phase would be 100 gig, just to adhere to your needs to be able to connect into a high volume traffic and process this traffic with the same intensity as your network is. Now, the next question is, how do we deal with encryption? So this is a simple answer. We do not decrypt the traffic, but we are able to read the metadata out of this encrypted traffic, and we rely on third-party decryptors to be able to decrypt the traffic. So basically, we can be fed of an unencrypted traffic in order to understand what is going on. Now, in terms of example of how our solution is being deployed, we could deploy it on-premise using hardware, dedicated hardware that we supply. And on the public cloud, we are able to sit on any public cloud and deploy our virtual appliance to be able to connect to those VPCs or instances or any resources that may reside on the network, on the public cloud itself. And the orchestrator, which is the console manager here, will be able to hold up to 256 nodes in one cluster. So that's a huge amount of traffic that we are able to digest with lots of boxes here. You may ask the question that what happens if my network is segmented and we cannot even allow that one appliance will have access to all of those segments. So our appliances are provided with lots of network interface cards, which can be connected to each of the segments and provide you even better visibility into those environments. And when we talk about closed environments or isolated environments, we can dedicate an appliance to that as well. And the appliance will report back to the console manager. Okay, for example, if your infrastructure has visibility products such as Gigamon, we are able to rely on the fabric visibility fabric itself to provide us those network traffic. We would just be considered as any analytic tool that would be connected to the Gigamon or to the Ixia or any other solution that you may have for the network visibility. And this is something that should be transparent to you because we are just connecting it as any other tool to the network. So just to give you a glimpse here, I'm going just a little bit back. Once we are discovering the network here, we are able to see what repositories are being here discovered by the network, and we are able to see the tables and the schema once we have the credentials. And from that point, we are able to see more and more information about what we have been discovered. And when it comes to transaction, to data in motion, that's where the power of Inventor comes into play, because we are able to see data in motion, data at rest, and data that is processed. So we are able to provide you a full visibility of what's going on with the data itself. Same goes to the public cloud. If we are talking about crawling cloud storages or cloud databases such as Redshift or Office 365 or any cloud-based application that may use with API calls. And ultimately, as mentioned, we could create a single entity out of all this discovered information and provide you with a built-in system to create a ticketing system for DSAR requests. Now, for most of you who are dealing with compliancy here, the average amount of processing DSAR report would be about $1,400. Now imagine that we in the need to collect those information with a huge amount. I just heard this week that a customer was referring to a DDoS DSAR request, so meaning that we would get a huge amount of the need to process lots of DSAR requests for lots of customers, because ultimately there was a breach or something like that, or someone want to fulfill his rights to erasure. And we are able to create this with a manual flow or automated flow, just to give you the ability to process this kind of information and provide the visibility according to the customer request. Okay, so what you are able to see here is basically how do we create the lineage for this specific person. And this specific person was able to be found on various repositories, as you can see on the right side, whether they are transaction, whether they are on file browsers, and we are able to associate those information or those data elements to business needs, which we are calling data assets. That could be customers, VIP programs, premium programs, or whatever your business is aligned to. So basically, you would be able to know everything about this specific person that has been requesting from you DSAR information. So as mentioned, DSAR supervised AI is the tool that will provide you to understand or train the system without even knowing how to be, without being a data scientist, how to train the system to create those unknown PIIs into a single entity or single person. So basically, the training model is constrained out of three main pillars. After we do the discovery, we create what we call a candidate or unknown PII. And the second phase would be modifying those PIIs, if we are referring to a database table, we could train the system to a specific reference in this table and tell the system that this certain value is not what the system has been identified, but rather something else. Or if you have any custom tables in that database, we are able to provide you and create those and train the system itself. And once you have been able to modify the training process, now the system will go into the adaptation, meaning it will digest all the modification that you made and will train all the unknown PIIs on all the data elements that it has not been able to create a unique person into a single entities and confirmed entities. So in terms of awards and recognition, this probably shows the best without even talking about it. We have won many awards here, being a really cool startup here. And most recent one was the Golden Bridge here that we won just recently. And we are getting more and more awards here just for being pioneers and at the cutting edge of utilizing machine learning and artificial intelligence. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ophir.
And if I could, I just want to point out just real quick takeaway for everybody here. The crux of our offering is really in our ability, not just for the regulatory reporting, which obviously was kind of the genesis of how we were founded to fill the needs of regulatory reporting like we see from CCPA and GDPR. But really our key value add is our ability to, one, do automated data discovery of both in both your known and your unknown data repositories. Two, to then catalog that data into a smart catalog so that we're not just showing you trends of where the data resides, but we're actually cataloging it and we're bringing the information down to a unique data source, which would be either that customer or the employee, right? And that is a key component to any type of regulatory piece that you are seeing. And then 3, we're providing the lineage of where that data exists. And when we talk about the lineage of data, what we mean is the entire life cycle of the data, meaning where that data originated from, where that data has been shared over time, how many copies of the data exist and where they exist today. So really, at a high level, if you think of what the key value add, and if you think of what needs we fill, it's really not just towards that compliance component, but it's really around anyone who has a need to get a better handle on their sensitive organizational data, whether it be for privacy, whether it be to put better security practices around it, or to have better data governance, right? So, and thanks everybody. Sorry for jumping in over the top of you there, Ophir.